All right, peace, peace. Lee, let me know if you can hear me. Put 44 in the chat box if you can hear me. Yeah, put 44 in the chat box if you can hear me. All right, soon I get a confirmation. I'll go, okay, there it is. Yeah, I just want to drop a little piece. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Yeah, I just want to drop a little piece. Apparently, Jay-Z announced that he has an album coming out. Today is June the 29th. Apparently, Jay-Z has a new album coming out tomorrow on June 30th called 444. 444. And obviously, he's dropping numerology straight off the bat. So, as a practicing numerologist, it was probably smart to go ahead and drop a little piece about what I see as far as the numbers, to no conspiracies or try to reach so hard to draw connections. Just want to talk about the obvious connections that I see. Little quick preface, I dropped something on Mind Right Radio and specifically about Jay-Z, I want to say within a year ago. Jay-Z will be releasing something that will have a lot more consciousness than what we're used to. And it wasn't no prophetic thought per se, but it was based on the album he did, or the song he did with Jay Electronica, where dude was talking about going to court with black boxers on, y'all hella jealous of my melatonin. And any given moment, I'm God. You feel me? Like we was talking that God body language, hard body. You know, I was like, man, dude's like really, I mean, he's one way because they're like Jay-Z's been conscious, quote unquote. He's been aware. You know, he grew up in New York. He was around Jazzo, which is certified conscious God body status. So he's already been hip to the information. Got upset because they think that he should say more, he should speak more about certain issues and certain things dealing with metaphysics. And like I said, if he came in the game talking heavily about occult, symbolism, metaphysics, third eye and stuff like that, he wouldn't be famous right now. If he was talking about all the things that people wanted him to speak about, he wouldn't be famous and quote unquote successful as he is now. So when I made a prediction on My Right Radio, I stated he had to get to a certain status. The beats is going to hold a lot more weight. It's one thing for Jay-Z to say something, it's just coming up like a battle rapper or just a new artist or something like that. It's going to have a lot more weight when Jay-Z says it. So I'm not predicting that in this album he's going to go hard body metaphysics. For real, I do jewels and dimes or whatever, but I just want to look at it more from a numerology standpoint. I'm pretty sure he's going to speak about things he haven't spoken of before, you know. So I want to get right into it. Just got some things I want to drop. And at the end, if you have any questions or anything you want to add on, you can go ahead and type in the chat box. It's not going to be an all-day event. So I went and did a quick Wikipedia search, and I just want to state the obvious or whatever from what I see that probably anybody is going to speak about when they look at the 4 connection to Jay-Z, because Jay-Z has obviously been harmonized on that 4 frequency for a minute. Nothing new. But in case you didn't know, Jay-Z was born Sean Carter. I think his name's Sean Corey Carter or something like that. But he was born on December the 4th. So already he's born on the 4th. When you look at Beyonce, she was born on September the 4th. She was born, I don't know the year off bat, but they're both born on the 4th day of the month. And to add to that energy, they got married on April 4th. You know, so that 4, you can say on a human level that may be his favorite number, but obviously on a more occult or esoteric level, there's that 4 frequency resonates with him for a reason. Personally, this is just my guess. I think he knows why that 4 energy resonates with him. Furthermore, he went and made this club called 4040. I'm not sure if it's still in operation. I'm assuming so, but he has a club called 4040. And like I said, the marriage, they both born on April 4th or whatever. So when you look at the album, it's called 444. And he made it, as far as I can tell, I haven't done too much on it. So this is just fresh. And like I said, I more so want to deal with the numbers and the energy and the day and time we're in. But if I'm not mistaken, he made it look like a clock, a time for, as far as a time, either PM or AM. He could have said 444 and just made it 444. Or he could have went 4 dot, 4 dot, you know what I'm saying? He could have broke it up. But for whatever reason, it's looking like a time. So is that related to what time we're in? Or is it related to what time is he in his own personal evolution? I think it's more so having to do with his personal evolution. And I draw that conclusion. For one thing, let's look at the number 444. Kind of all over the place or whatever. Like I said, this is kind of spur of the moment. When I put it on YouTube, I thought about doing this 15 minutes before I put it on. So I might be all over the place. 444 and add it up all together. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. And up. 1 plus 2 is 3. So 444 from a numerology standpoint is the number 3. Now, 3 has a connection to Jayz as well because he's an astrological sign, Sagittarius. Of Sagittarius, Jupiter. What's the ruling planet for the number 3? Jupiter. So 444 adds up to a 3, which equals Jupiter, and plus Jayz is supposedly a Sagittarius in Western astrology. So that's one connection that he has with the 444, and more importantly, just the number 3. Now, most people, if they don't deal with numerology, they're just going to see the 4. But anybody that studies numerology, we know we get the single digit of any compound number. So that 444, even though the 4 is prevalent, the true energy of that number is the 3. When you look at 3, what's represented in his life right now? Child. So that blue ivy, which is another connection with the 4, IV is 4 in Roman numerals or whatever. When you look at a Roman numeral number, IV, if you look at his baby's name, Ivy is 4, because IV is the number 4 or whatever. But that number 3 deals with manifestation, completion in a certain regards, the first number of completion, because man comes together with woman to have child. Child is the offspring, which is the number 3. In the nature of gods and earth is man, woman, and child, or knowledge, wisdom, understanding. The 3 is the understanding. You have to get through the information. You have to understand what the information, or you have to gain wisdom from the information by letting it marinate. And from that marination, you gain wisdom and come out with greater understanding. So in a sense, symbolically too, it represents Jayz coming into certain level of understanding, either with himself or the way the universe works, or a little bit of both, which I do think it's a little bit of both or whatever. So that 3 right there, that's very prominent for as well, because the 4 is repeating. Now, I told you that the 3 equals Jupiter. So what does the number 4 equals? It will resonate with 2 planets, depending on what system you're using. To be all the way up front, I use what I call Tahuti numerology, which is correspondence with all the systems. So when I hear the number 4, what comes to me is Uranus and also the planet Rahu, T standpoint. So Rahu and Uranus both equal the number 4. And when you look at Rahu is an insatiable number. So one prediction I'll make is with this album, he's either going to be dealing with a lot of materialism, a lot of greed, which is the shadow side of Rahu. It's very greedy. It's very like, I want this. You know what I'm saying? What's mine? My ego needs all this or whatever. So I think it's going to have a little bit of that, and or it's going to deal more of the Uranus energy. And if you look at Uranus, what is Uranus connected to? It's connected to Aquarius. What age are we in? We're in the age of Aquarius. So, and the whole way the album's coming about is he's using a lot of Aquarian energy, which is technology. That the 444. It was shout out to Blue Pill. of Know the Ledge, he came up on my YouTube, and he was talking about blue pills, talking about Jayz 444. That's how I found out that dude had an album coming out tomorrow, whatever. Once again, this is June 29th. The album comes out June 30th. So that 4 resonates with that Aquarian energy as well. So what does Aquarians do? What is that Uranus energy does? It rebels against the system. More about that. I go to court with black boxers on. Because in that song with Jay Electronica, dude was very rebellious. He was in his God body stance. It was F the system. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was like taking about our roots, being melanated, talking about your greatness and stuff like that. Totally against what you would think of Jay-Z. So that's what I'm saying with the numbers. I could see this album either going far left where he's just hella braggadocious on that Rahu energy, or all the way right where he's on that talking about aliens, talking about things that you may not even understand. In another prediction too that I made even years ago, a lot more prominent artists, a lot more prominent rappers talking about things that we deem metaphysical and more occult. So the energy is prime. I'm just not sure if it's in his chart per se, even though I do believe it is on it that it's in his chart. So that's the way I think it's going to come. It's going to come very braggadocious, or he's going to come really far out the box with concepts that haven't really been talked about in public, but on records and people and like artists talking about it. Like bring a new concept, new